Hi guys, Darth Deuce is here with another not Marvel Legends. I'm getting too used to saying that because of all the Marvel Legends I've been reviewing. But Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure review on the brand new Admiral Piett figure. I know some people have been able to get this figure early. Most of us have not, though, I'm pretty sure. I got this at EB Games in Canada. As in Canada, this is an EB Games exclusive, I'm pretty sure. Though I think mostly every results, it's an online retailer exclusive, I think. I could be wrong on that, though. But another Imperial officer, Admiral Piett. I really like Admiral Piett. He was a cool character in the original trilogy. And I'm just really happy to get all these officers in the Black Series 6-inch line. This is a character I never expected them to make. I'm really happy they did make. I'm happy that they're pumping out more officers. I'm a really big fan of the Imperial officers, if you haven't already noticed. But yeah, so I'm pretty stoked. So here he is in the packaging. He's got your standard Black Series 6-inch packaging. Stars the Black Series, the figure in the packaging. Pretty cool image of Piett, Admiral Piett. No number because he's an exclusive. Another image of Piett. A bio of Admiral Piett is an ambitious Imperial officer. Piett rose through the ranks to captain and was assigned to the Super Star Destroyer Executor, Darth Vader's flagship. When Vader strangled Admiral Ozzel, Piett was granted a battlefield promotion to Admiral and given a grisly warning of the penalty for failure. Luckily for him, he never died at the hands of Darth Vader. He was actually one of the competent officers. Anyways, I'm going to get this guy cracked open and we'll take a closer look at the figure. Alright, now I have Piett out of the packaging, and it's a pretty cool figure that uses a little bit of new parts, borrows a decent amount of parts from other officers released, but that's okay, because I'd imagine they would reuse parts, because all the officers' outfits are pretty close to the same. And I'm sure Hasbro's loving that they can actually have some characters that they can actually reuse parts for. But looking at the head sculpt, obviously this is brand new, and it is the Admiral Piett face with the Photo Realtek face printing going on. Looks really good. Pretty good likeness to the actor, I'd say. The eyes look really good, and they even got the sort of dark bags, I guess, sort of subtly painted around his eyes, look really good. The mouth looks good. The definitions of his face look good as well. And the hair looks good as well. Just a brown sort of short hair, but it looks good. Got the Imperial officer here. I believe his torso is new because he has 2 code cylinders on this side, but only 1 code cylinder on this side. And I don't think there's any other figure that does that, or has that. He's got his Fleet Admiral plaque there. Pretty good for the most part. The 2 rectangles on the far side are a bit scraped at a bit, which I find that on almost all my officer figures, which is kind of annoying, but that looks good for the most part. And you just got pretty much your standard Imperial officer uniform, some nice sculpted detail to simulate the fabric. The belt looks good. It's got the lower tunic, which does have the split at the sides. And you got the officer style pants. And the glossy black jack boots would look really good as well. And he has gloved hands. Black gloved hands. The right one has a trigger finger, the left one's just a normal hand, but that's good. Overall, it's a really good looking figure. I think it's pretty accurate looking. There's really not much else to talk about. It's Imperial officer. They all do pretty much the same thing. I will say the overall color of his uniform looks good. It's a much more standard gray. I think Tarkin's a bit more on the green side, which is accurate. His was just a bit more greener. But Tarkin's is done well as well. Doesn't take it go crazy with it. In terms of articulation, he has that new neck joint they've been using for the newer Black Series with the double ball joint. So he gets some decent pivot, decent up movement, decent down movement, and he has rotation. The rotation's a little loose on my figure, but it's not crazy loose, so it's not too bad. Ball hinges, shoulders move really good out and rotate all around. Single hinges at the elbows only move 90 degrees, which is unfortunate. It's not as big a deal on this figure, but it's still unfortunate. Ball joint at the torso, which doesn't really crunch back, crunches forward just a little bit, rotates, and doesn't really pivot. Ball hinges at the hips, which move out, but you do kind of have the tunic going out, but they move out decently. The split's pretty good. Sole cuts at the thighs, double hinges at the knees, which move pretty good, and hinges at the ankles with rocker joints. So it is decent articulation, your standard Black Series articulation, but pretty much you're going to be able to get the poses that you want out of this figure. He's not going to be doing anything too crazy. In terms of articulation, in terms of accessories, he comes with 2 accessories. First of which is this blaster, and Piett never used a blaster in the movies, but I appreciate that they gave us a weapon for him anyways. It's this interesting looking blaster design I've never seen before. They use the same blaster with General Veers. It's just molded in a black plastic. There's no paint detail, but it does have some nice sculpted details at the scope and whatnot. You can hold the blaster. And he has a trigger finger there to accommodate for that. Yeah, you can get him holding that, and it looks cool. And he also comes with his hat, which I think is awesome. It's removable. Sometimes, like on the General Hux figure, which I never managed to get, that figure did not have a removable hat, which I think was kind of dumb. So I'm happy that they made this hat removable. Though I don't think we ever see Piett without his hat on. It's still really cool that they did the feature. It's got a nice paint for the silver button on the top, and the sculpt detail's nice. You just plop that on the head. It fits on the head really well, and it looks pretty good. Happy with how that looks. I'll straighten him out here. I'll do some comparisons now real quick. So, I guess first off, here he is just with a random Imperial Trooper I picked up. Here's the Rogue One off the shelf. The Rogue One Stormtrooper. Or not Stormtrooper, but Hover Tank Driver. I want to say the Hover Tank Driver is actually ever so slightly taller than Piett. I keep wanting to call him Veers, but Piett. But I think that scales well. That looks good. And then I'll compare him with all the other officers I currently have. And I have all of them except for Veers. So here he is with Krennic. Krennic looks taller. Yeah, Krennic's taller than him. I have no idea if that's accurate or not, but I think it looks fine. So that's really cool. Here's the Grand Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn is taller than Piett, and that is accurate because Thrawn's supposed to be pretty tall. Doesn't want to really. Yeah, there we go. So that looks really cool. And then lastly, with the most recent officer release that isn't Veers, here he is with Tarkin. I think Tarkin's supposed to be decently tall as well. I can't remember. And Tarkin is just ever so slightly taller than him. But I think that works well. Piett 100% reuses Tarkin's legs and Tarkin's lower tunic. Actually, yeah, he uses the lower tunic as well. The sculpt in the fabric is the same. He might even reuse the arms. He just uses different hands, different torso, and different head. But that, again, like I said, that's fine. And you can't really tell on... Oh, no, you can kind of tell on camera. Tarkin's uniform is ever so slightly a little bit of a darker green than Piett's. But that is accurate, and I absolutely love that. So that's really awesome. Overall, Piett is a really good figure. He looks really good. But I wouldn't say he's an essential part of your collection. I would get him if you are an Imperial collector like I am, or if you're a fan of the Imperial officers, then 100% pick him up. If you don't care about having every officer or Imperial figure, then it is a pass, and you're not going to miss out on too much, I don't think. But overall, I would recommend him. He's really cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and may the Force be with you.